Hello, hi, I'm Himanshi, and I had recently gone on a trip to Ladakh with my parents and his biking friends, and we were associated with Nomadic Soul Group. And I'm very sad to say that the entire planning and everything that they've done is really bad because I was on the bike with my dad, and he had to basically just try and ride the bike. The bike was in such a bad condition. It kept making a very irritating noise, and it spoiled half of my trip because of that noise. It was so annoying. And not just my dad's bike, but others' bikes were also really messed up too. The entire planning and the how they carried out the whole thing was really bad because my mom and my dad's friend's daughter who had joined us, they had been promised a car and they didn't get one, and sadly they were put in a tempo traveler, which was actually supposed to be a medical and an oxygen cylinder carrier with everybody's bags. And also on the way one of the bikes broke down, and my mom and my dad's friend's daughter, and they had some other people too, I think. And sadly they loaded the broken down bike, and it was so risky because it couldn't handle the weight. They already had so much stuff inside. What I also noticed was when I walked inside, I saw there was a huge petrol can which was kept, which is pretty illegal and very highly risky. And right next to where my mom and my dad's friend daughter was sitting, it was right there, and I saw it and I freaked out. And this was halfway down the trip. Not even halfway, it was, I think, the start of the trip. I still remember we had waited back at a petrol pump. All of us were waiting back just for my mom, and I actually went into tears because of what I heard. My mom was scared when she called me, and she was like that they've loaded a bike, broken down bike in the tempo, and she was really petrified because the mechanic and the bus driver, I think, they got into a huge fight in the middle of the road, and it was around 11 o'clock in the night. So we were literally 100 200 kilometers away from them, and they were still at the place where they were supposed to leave from. And it really shocked me that we trusted a group like this. I was looking forward to this trip, being a very enthusiast of traveling. I've never seen such a bad organization in my entire life. My friends have been to Ladakh, none of them had complaints. Everybody was, everybody had organized groups which were very well maintained and everything. But this was really bad, and I would never suggest anybody to go and travel with these people and not trust them at all, because I had a very bad time, and I wouldn't and travel with these people and not trust them at all, because I had a very bad time, and I wouldn't want anybody else out there to get worried about their families. So I would never suggest anybody to trust this organization ever again.
Hi everyone, I'm Skan, and recently I went to Leh Ladakh with a tour operating company called Nomadic Souls. And I urge everyone to never trust them because they were absolutely pathetic. There was no coordination, there was no marshal, there were no proper bikes. It was a nightmare, to be very honest. The uncertainty that I have felt in those days is something I can never put into words. They were that pathetic. They did not care for whatever we were trying to tell them. The adults in my group had to cooperate at 4 o'clock in the morning when it was not their job to do. It was completely pathetic. Such a beautiful place with so much pressure was just not what we wanted. And it hurts me to say this when I had to just think of all the risk that my family was being put through. So, in simple short words, I hope this reaches high authorities because I really want serious action taken against this company, because I don't want anybody to go through what we went through. Thank you.
Hello everybody, this is Harish here from Mumbai. I have, along with my family and friends, undertaken a motorcycle trip organized by Nomadic Souls, headquartered in Bangalore, and having an office in Delhi, Greater Noida, headed by a person by the name of Sahil Duggal. We've paid for the entire trip, including fuel, motorcycles, the hotel, food, sightseeing, etc. And thereafter, it has been a nightmare of experiences. We have had to literally, not get bikes which were in proper working condition. We had to face issues all along the way. Logistics were bad. There were no support vehicles, no first aid or ambulance provisions, or any kind of backup vehicles. My wife and daughter and was a pillion rider, and my friend's daughter, who was supposed to travel in a car to be provided, were in fact accommodated in a tempo traveler which was carrying everybody's baggage, as well as spares and broken down vehicles or bikes. In fact, there was a lot of infighting and a lot of disagreement between the Nomadic Soul staff. There was no coordination whatsoever by Mr. Sahil Duggal and his team. They did not know where to go, what to do. There were no marshals to lead the entire group of riders in the first place. It was, something which we never expected or dreamed about. It was a total shambles. We had to miss a lot of sightseeing on the way. We had to ride in after sunset on mountain roads, which was very dangerous. There was a lot of rain. There was a lot of cold that we had to bear. We had to reach our hotels very late in the night and skip dinners or just have some quick dinners. We were totally exhausted. Our bikes failed on many occasions. We were forced to ride without bikes and travel in the other vehicles which were provided, which came in very late. We were blamed for a lot of faults by the organizer, and we would just like to highly say that nomadic souls and such kind of tour operators should be stayed away from, and they should be double checked and kept in strict accordance with whatever they promise. This is a learning experience for all of us, and we want everybody else to not fall into the same trap. And
Hi, I have undertaken a bike tour to Ladakh this last August end to September, and I had taken this through Nomadic Souls, and I wanted to tell you about my experience with Nomadic Souls. Right from the beginning, they had given the bikes very late, so the tour actually started at around 12:31, which resulted actually in us all getting delayed to reach the destination. Most of the times, because of that, it was just carry forwarded, and every day it used to happen that the coordination with the nomadic souls, and there was no marshals. There were no proper marshals to do and to ensure that everyone in the group starts the ride early. So which resulted actually in reaching the destination very late. So most of the times we had to ride in the night and thus missing on the sceneries, the beautiful sceneries of Ladakh, which actually we intended to pursue. Even the bikes, the rental companies that Nomadic Souls had a tie-up with, they were pathetic bikes. A lot of people had issues with the bikes, so a lot of problems with the bikes, and that is also one of the reasons that the entire group got delayed to reach the specific destination each day. Even what they had actually promised in the itinerary, they were not able to provide. So all in all, I would highly not recommend taking up nomadic souls for any of the future rides. At least we will not be able to do it, and I also advise you people, if you are looking out for any travel companies to go for a Ladakh ride, please do not use nomadic souls. Thanks.
Hi, fellow travelers, bikers, and cyclists. This is just a message for you to be aware of. There's a tour operator called Nomadic Souls who we just traveled. 17 of us travelers traveled with them We had a pathetic experience with them. We had a complete package of travel, bikes, fuel, stay, food, and also coordination and tour operation. None of that, the promises that they made, majority of them they fell short on, be it one of our friends' families to get a car to drive in, as in to sit in. They did not get. We did not have a backup vehicle. They merged both of them together, made it into a tempo traveler. Apart of that, about 60 to 70% of the bikes did not work. Many of the riders did not ride the whole trip because almost the whole trip because it did not work. When they didn't work, we were held ransom to wanting to make a payment for. If you guys can avoid them, please do. This is not a tour operator that you should go with. Very unsafe, very unorganized, and very, very unethical practice. So thumbs down to Nomadic Soul.
My name is Vino, and I have been a traveler with Nomadic Souls for their recent trip from Chandigarh to Manali, Leh and Srinagar from 27th August 2021 to September 6th, 2021. And I would like to share my experience with you guys. And it has been an horrible experience. Why? Since the start of the tour, we were given bad bikes to quite a lot of our group members, and they had no coordination, they had no planning of how to conduct a tour. The safety of the riders was their last priority, and also in many instances, at least out of the 8 to 10 days of riding that we had, almost 4 to 5 days we were forced to ride during the night. And the people who are riders will understand that in terrains of Manali, Leh and all those hilly and dangerous terrain, driving in night is equally dangerous. It is a risk, and also you lose a lot of the sightseeing for which you are actually going to ride in all these places. So, and the facilities managed by the Nomadic Soul group were actually not at all par with a standard organizer. The support vehicles were not adequate. The safety features in the sense of first aid, or if anything happens to any rider, what is the modus operandi to handle that situation, they had nothing. Most of the coordination was for the tour, for the day-to-day coordination of the riders was done by our own team. They did not even have proper marshals during the whole tour. And if I have to quote you certain incidences, they had put a few of our lady family members who were traveling with us, they had put their safety at risk by they were traveling during the night at around 1 o'clock in the night. We had to wait for them, coordinate with them, their whereabouts and everything. And overall, it was a horrible experience. And I will never suggest anybody to take up the tours with Nomadic Soul Group, because they are not an organization who can be banked upon or trusted for giving you an experience that they claim in their itinerary. They are nothing like their itinerary.
Hello, people. My name is Roshan Mansukhani, and I take ownership of this entire video as a truth to caution our fellow riders, cyclists, from this so-called fly-by-night tour operator, Nomadic Souls. The HO is in Bangalore and also in Delhi. We've had a horrific experience with this tour operator. We scheduled to ride from 8 in the morning and were given, this is in Chandigarh, scheduled to ride at 8 in the morning towards Manali, and were given the bikes in haphazard condition at 1:30 in the afternoon in bits and parts. Their vendors are disgusting. They don't take ownership, no marshals whatsoever. It was one Delhi ka chokra with us in the tempo traveler. Promised my friends my friend came with his family. They were promised a car right from day one, and he paid for it also. But the families were put in a tempo traveler, which is undone. Most important, in the scorching heat of 38-40 degrees, we are leaving for a trip. Imagine our plight. Number one, no lunch. Our lunch was direct at 3:30 in the evening. Till the time, every half a kilometer, there was some kind of a problem. I talk about it because I was given a 350 Thunderbird, 350cc, which was also overtaken probably by a 100cc scooter. So imagine the quality of the bikes. Okay. All our 80% of our journeys were in the evening, late evenings. We were stranded on the streets without network. They don't take ownership of anything. Their mechanic fought with that Delhi person on the streets with our family inside. Most important and illegal, they were carrying 20 liters of petrol jerry can with passengers in the same backup vehicle inside it. So imagine what could have happened. God bless, nothing did. But this was not done. They ran a tour as if they are doing us a favor. Yes, in certain areas they did work around. They tried procuring things for us because we just gave up. This is not done. But when you're trying to procure things, at least procure good things. The bikes from Chandigarh, that is, cascading effect began from there. Our bikes in Leh were decent. We were told Leh के bikes Leh में ही रहेंगी और बाकी चंडीगढ़ के bikes वापस चलेंगे after being serviced. We did not get them. Some of us did not get them. So friends, all I tell you is, it's a caution. This tour operator, I wouldn't call him a fraud. I call him a horrific person because he doesn't know his job. Most importantly, he tried to charge us money for towing the bikes. They were not even working. What could we do? We were stranded on the streets. Ulta and the attitude. By threatening us, you don't know my background. I mean, what are we getting into? What is this lovely sport of biking getting into? It is not done. I request everybody to share this. The person's name is Sahil Duggal from Delhi. The person's name from Bangalore is Sandeep TK, who came in later, who has not bothered to even resolve the problem. I only caution every single rider or a cyclist, because this group is also promoting cycle rides in the Himalayas. Friends, God bless. Please share this video. Save those people who save every penny for a breathtaking trip. It is not worth it with this tour company. Thank you.